Hello everyone, I'm Kinjal Patel, Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in the Department of Computer Engineering. So here is the chapter 4, Error Recovery. Topics to be covered in error recovery are types of errors and error recovery strategies. So this is the phase of compiler. We had discussed in first chapter that to detect the errors, there is one part that is error detection and recovery, which is used to detect the errors from lexical analysis, syntax analysis, and semantic analysis. And there are some recovery strategies that used to recover some local errors. So lexical analysis, syntax analysis, and semantic analysis are the front end of phases of compiler. So mostly errors are detected by these three phases. Now in this lecture we will learn that how these three phases detect the different errors. So first, types of errors. So basically there are two types of errors. First one is compile time errors and second one is runtime errors. As compile time errors are detected by compiler, so we'll learn that different compile times error in detail. First error is lexical phase errors, second error is syntactic phase errors, and third error is semantic phase errors. So these three errors are detected by three different phases, like lexical phase error detected by lexical phase, syntactic phase error detected by syntactic phase, and semantic phase errors are detected by semantic phase. So we will learn all these three types of error in next. So first, what is lexical error? Lexical errors can be detected during lexical analysis phase. So we all know that lexical analysis phase converts source program into sequence of tokens. So if sequence of string does not match with the pattern of token, then that can generate the lexical error. Lexical phase errors can be spelling errors like misspelling of keywords, exceeding the length of identifier or numeric constant means we give some length and that exceeds the length of identifier or any numeric constant. Then third one is appearance of illegal characters. So here is the example of one of the lexical errors that denotes the fi block. So this fi cannot be recognized as misspelling of keyword if. Rather, lexical analyzer will understand that it is an identifier and will return it as a valid identifier. So, this misspelling causes error in token formation. Now, next, syntax error. So, syntax error can be detected during syntax analysis phase of compiler. So, when parser demands for the tokens from lexical analysis, then lexical analysis gives that token to syntax analysis. So if there is any grammatical error in that token, then syntax error gets raised. So there are different syntax errors. It can be errors in structure, missing operators, or unbalanced parentheses. So here is the example of syntax error, that printf hello world. So here, as we know that semicolon is missing, so syntax analysis will detect this grammatical error. Now next topic is semantic error. So semantic error detected during semantic analysis phase, and semantic phase errors can be incompatible type of operands, means if there are the different operands used in our program which are not type compatible, then that can be included in semantic error. Then undeclared variable means we have used the variables without declaring it. So it will generate the error of undeclared variable. Then not matching of actual argument with formal argument. So here is the example of semantic errors. As id1, id2 and id3 are real and 60 is integer. So We can't perform the multiplication of ID3 and 60 directly as they are not type compatible. So this type of errors can be detected by semantic phase, and this type of errors are known as a semantic errors. So these are the three types of errors which are detected by three different phases. Now we'll learn different error recovery strategies or systematic methods to recover the syntax errors only. There are four different error recovery strategies. First one is panic mode recovery. Second one is phrase level recovery. Third one is error production. And fourth one is global correction. So these are the four error recovery strategies which used to recover the syntax error only. Okay. So first one is panic mode recovery. So in this method, on discovering error, the parser discards the input symbol one at a time. This process is continued until one of a designated set of synchronizing token is found. Synchronizing token means a delimiter such as semicolon or end, which denotes the end of statements. Okay, so there are some symbols used in different languages which denote the end of statements. For example, semicolon or end. So this designated set of synchronizing token means the pre-specified set of synchronizing token which denotes the end of statement. So the parser scans the entire statement means until the designated set of synchronizing tokens found. So until synchronizing tokens found, panic mode recovery will consider that as a entire statement, and it will scan that statement and discard the input symbol if there is error in that symbol. So this technique is this technique is the easiest technique from all, but it is not the best technique. Yes, if there is less number of error in the same statement, then this is best choice, and this technique will not go into infinite loop. So this is the advantage of this technique, that it will not go into infinite loop. Here is the example that as panic mode recovery scans the entire statement, so this block Fi will be considered as an error, which is misspelling of identifier. Otherwise, if it not scan the entire statement at a time, then it can return Fi as an valid identifier. So this is the advantage of panic mode recovery, that it scans the entire statement at a time. Okay. Next technique is phrase level recovery. So in phrase level recovery method, on discovering an error, parser performs local correction on remaining input. What does it actually do? It replaces the prefix by some string and allow parser to continue the program for remaining input. So it performs the local error correction like replacing comma by semicolon, then deletion of semicolon, or inserting the missing semicolon. So these are the local correction phrase level recovery performs. So these corrections are difficult, especially when the error has occurred before the detection of that error. For example, we are at line 5 and parser found that syntax is not right. So the actual error is at line 2. So it is difficult to resolve the error at line 2 by phrase level recovery. So this type of local correction is decided by compiler designer, and this phrase level recovery is used by many error repairing compilers, as this is advantageous to replace the prefix by some other string to perform the local correction. So this method is advantageous, but yes, this method does not aim for the minimal transformation, like it does not give the optimized result. It performs the local correction but not optimized correction. So next method is error production. If we have good knowledge of common errors that might be encountered, Then we can augment the grammar for the corresponding language with the error production that generate the erroneous constructs. Means while developing any language, if we know that if programmer will write the programs in such a way that there are list of errors that can occur. So if we know that error will be occurred, then we can make a error production and we can augment that error production with the grammar of corresponding language. So error production defines the common errors. So if error production is used, then during parsing, we can generate appropriate error messages and parsing can be continued. Like if error occurs, then parsing would not be stopped. Parsing just generate the error messages that these are the errors has been generated and it will be continued. Production works like exception, that we know that if we divide the number with 0, then error can occur. So we just print the messages and we continue the program. So error production does the same, that it generates the appropriate error messages and parsing can be continued for the remaining input. Now the last method is global correction. So global correction correct the input string. For example, if there is an incorrect input string X and we want to convert this incorrect input string into correct input string which is Y. So that conversion, that transformation should be as minimum as possible. So that conversion, that transformation should be as minimum as possible. Means given an incorrect input string X and grammar G, the algorithm will find the parse tree for related string Y such that the number of insertion, deletion and changes of token required to transform X into Y is as small as possible. Means we want to convert the incorrect string X into string Y which is correct string, but to convert that string X into Y, the transformation should be as minimum as possible. So the global correction aims for minimal transformation. This process, this method works like phrase level recovery. That phrase level recovery also convert the wrong string into right string by performing some local correction. But the aim of phrase level recovery is not minimal transformation, while global correction aim for converting the incorrect string into correct string with minimal transformation. So this method increases the time complexity and space complexity while parsing, and it is too costly to implement because it wants the optimized transformation to convert the incorrect string into the correct string. So global correction is a theoretical concept, is not has been implemented in any of compiler yet. So these are the 4 strategies which used to recover the syntax errors locally. So in this lecture, we have learned different types of errors which are detected by different phases and different error recovery strategies to recover the syntax errors. Thank you.